Hello everyone, my name is Dennis Gomez and today I will be presenting remote workplace policies. Companies should establish efficient and effective remote work policies for company workers. These policies will create expectations that the user should follow to be compliant and productive in the organization. The following considerations should be taken when implementing a remote work policy. The first of them is eligibility. Before allowing a user to work remotely, it is important to review if the position is eligible to work remotely. The second and third is availability and responsiveness. A company should state in its policies the times that users are expected to be available to perform their job and the immediateness in response times to communications. Number 4, productivity requirements. Remote work policies should also include the method an employee's productivity will be measured working remotely. Number 5, equipment. The company must provide the equipment for the users. Number 6, tech support. The IT department should harden and secure company equipment that will be deployed to users for a tighter control. An IT department should be prepared to offer technical assistance to users in case they experience technical difficulties. Number 7, security. Since company data is coming out of the building, users should choose a secure place where they can keep information secure and confidential and not disclose sensitive information to others who do not belong to the organization. And number 8, confidentiality. Next, we will talk about remote work security risks. These are the security risks regarding remote work policy. Number 1 is data confidentiality. Number 2, data protection. Number 3, personal devices. Number 4, weak credentials. Number 5, phishing scams. Number 6, weak security controls. Number 7, physical. To protect data and keep it confidential, data at rest and data in transit ought to be secured. Data at rest can be secured by implementing password-protected files and activating BitLocker encryption in all company devices. BitLocker encryption protects your data at rest by encrypting your device's volume with a password and prevent data theft or exposure from losing or getting your laptop stolen. In case a user account were to be compromised, the attackers will not be able to access the files unless they know the password of the file. Along with this, if a company device is lost or stolen from a user, nobody will be able to access the data in the device unless they know the BitLocker password. According to the CIA triad, data should always be confidential. Access control lists and file encryption can be used in this case to protect the confidentiality of the data while working remotely. To protect data in transit, networks ought to encrypt communications from users' home to the company's main network. It is crucial to implement VPN end-to-end encryption to establish a secure communication between a user's home and the company's network. Virtual private network assists in protecting your data by encrypting web traffic so nobody can read your data if it is intercepted. VPNs connect your devices to a secure server instead of using a public network when attempting to access company data. Protecting data with encrypting communications methods assists in keeping the confidentiality and integrity from the CIA triad. Bring your own device policy, also known as BYOD, allows users to use their personal devices for work-related matters. It is recommended to implement mobile device management policy along with BYOD. MDM will allow you to have full administrative control and protection over the user's devices. Mobile device management will require users to be enrolled and it will provide an endpoint security for them against cyber threats. Implementing mobile device management will provide you with the ability to delete confidential data from a user's device if they were to leave the company. MDM also allows you to keep users' devices up to date by applying the latest software patches and updates in a timely manner. Users tend to use weak passwords that are easy to remember. Users tend to repeat passwords in all their accounts. Passwords should never contain confidential information like social security numbers or date of birth. Cyber attackers take advantage of these vulnerabilities by using password cracking tools to hack accounts. It is recommended to use password managers to minimize the risk of being hacked with the password cracking tool. Password managers store passwords in a master password protected central encrypted database. This encrypted database is also known as a password vault, should be configured to auto-lock and clear any password from the clipboard if not in use. Password managers will help to assist with keeping confidentiality, availability, and integrity in a company by providing users assistance with logging into their system with complex passwords. Employees working remotely are susceptible to fall for a phishing scam. Phishing scams are fraudulent attack vectors sent by cyber attackers, usually via email, pretending to be a legitimate source. By sending these scams, cyber attackers intend to acquire users' login credentials illegally by intimidating them. If a phishing scam is successful, a hacker will be able to unauthorizedly log into the user's accounts whose credentials were compromised. As a cybersecurity specialist, it is important to educate your employees to not fall for a phishing scam, as this is the most popular hacking method responsible for security breaches. Phishing scams have become more sophisticated that it is difficult for an employee to distinguish between a legitimate and fraudulent sender. Therefore, cybersecurity specialists should teach employees to identify what is phishing scams. Cybersecurity specialists should configure email filters to prevent employees from receiving phishing scams to minimize the surface attack. When working from home, employees are subject to their at-home or public Wi-Fi weak security configurations. At-home and public Wi-Fi do not possess the robust configurations that an office network does with intrusion detection systems, firewalls, demilitarized zones, proxy servers, content filtering, and many other hardening configurations. Even when working from home, physical security should be taken seriously. Employees might be talking about the company's sensitive information out loud at home or in public places, leaving an opportunity for eavesdroppers to steal information by listening to their conversations. Company devices should never be left unattended while working in public places. If working at a coffee shop or restaurant, users should make sure to cover their laptop screen to prevent other people from looking at sensitive company data. If printing company data at home, employees should make sure to shred the information and not leave it exposed or throw it in the trash without shredding it. Dumpster divers might be able to commit fraud if they acquire sensitive data. Organizations should be aware of the multiple cyber threats that come with working remotely. The most common cyber threats are DDoS attacks, malware, man-in-the-middle attacks, and IoT devices attacks. DDoS can cause business disruption by preventing remote workers to access the office network to perform their duties. Company devices are vulnerable to malware attacks, so it is important to keep these devices updated with the latest antivirus. If a user's device were to become infected by a virus, a hacker can access company information, location data, and financial accounts. In a man-in-the-middle attack, an attacker can intercept information sent between the sender and the recipient. Therefore, it is important to utilize a VPN. IoT devices are the easiest targets for hackers as they usually are not updated as laptops and cell phones are. Hackers can involve IoT devices to launch a DDoS attack and gain unauthorized access to company data the IoT devices have access to. Zero-day attacks are viruses that take advantage of vulnerabilities before a patch has been released. Now we will discuss the recommended design principles for remote workers. The first one is to keep family and friends away from work devices. When administering company data, make sure you're not exposing confidential information to family or friends. Second of all is use MFA Authenticator. IT departments should configure MFA authentication across all systems in the network. Third is to use a webcam cover. Make sure to use a webcam cover when not using your webcam. Fourth of all is use a VPN. Always use your VPN. The IT department should require the use of VPN when accessing the company's network. Fifth, use a centralized storage solution. Ensure all employees are saving documents to a centralized storage service to prevent company data from being exposed if a user's local files are lost or compromised. Employees should always store confidential and company data in server storage or in the cloud. 6. Secure home Wi-Fi. Configure a strong and complex password for your at-home router. 7. Implement complex passwords. Take advantage of your password manager to create a strong, complex, and unique password. A combination of numbers, symbols, and lowercase and capital letters should be used. Next one is recognize phishing scams. Beware of all these signs of phishing attacks. An IT department should implement a policy where emails can only be accessed securely through the company's VPN. And lastly, update and patch your system. Keep your system up to date with the latest patches and updates to prevent from being a victim of a zero-day attack. Now we will discuss specific design principles that can be violated. Some of the specific design principles that can be violated are weak and repetitive passwords, using company devices for personal matters, users disclosing company sensitive data with friends and family, weak security controls in at-home Wi-Fi, and users delaying security patches and updates. Thank you for listening.